So hi guys, good afternoon, good evening wherever you are. Habari zenu, karibuni na lesson yetu ya mathematics ya form 2. So this lesson was supposed to be on Friday, but because of technical issues I couldn't do this session. So next week we will be back on Friday at the same time. So just in case you don't understand, wiki ijayo itakuwa Ijumaa kama kawaida, time ya kawaida. So you have a starter on the board there. You can see what you need to do is a warm up. You need to make 34 on each side. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that, guys. And today I'm not going to give you the answer. What you're supposed to do is use number 1 to 16 and make sure all the number that way they add to 34, and all the number this way add up to 34, same way, and also diagonally. Okay, so make sure all the numbers add up to 34. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes, and then if you haven't got it, then I'm going to leave that with you to play with it. Okay, so guys, oh, hello Mohammed, how are you? Thank you. And hello Parth, how are you? And there's one more person, I'm not sure who that is. Nice to see you guys. So we're going to do simultaneous equations today. Okay, so if my screen is not clear or my sound is not clear, please leave me a comment or let me know through comments. Okay, so I'm going to give you 30 more seconds, and if you haven't finished, you will finish that later on. Okay, if you have done it, just let me know or through the comment that you have done it. That's all. If not, you will complete that at your own time. Right, okay, so hopefully you've started and you've got your brain warm up now. Let's start with the topic. So last week I left you with this homework. If you just check your answers against mine, if you haven't done it, you can just take a picture of this and then test yourself again later or whenever you have time. All right, so we're going to complete the topic that we listed. This part we haven't really done that much. We did one question last week with the triangle, so we'll be doing that a bit more when we do the simultaneous equations, worded questions, maybe next week. We probably need to do 2 more sessions after this with this topic. So we've done linear equations. After that, we'll be doing these 2 lots, okay? So today we're going to do linear simultaneous equations. So when we say linear, what does it mean? It means it's a straight line, basically, equation that follows a straight line. And it's in the form of y equals mx plus c. So for example, if I write y equals 2x plus 4, this is linear equation because the power of x is just 1. It's not 2x squared, for example. This is not linear equation. So the ones we're doing today are equations which are linear. You can get quadratic equations, so you can get quadratic simultaneous equations. That is not what we're doing today. So what are simultaneous equations then? Well, they are a system of equations that are all true together. You must find an answer or answers that work for all the equation at the same time. So for example, you might have y equals 2x plus 4 and another equation that says y equals 6x minus 2, for example, or minus 6x minus 2. And then you will need to solve these 2 equations and find answer that satisfy both equations. And these equations, like I say, they can be quadratic equations and linear and all sort of things, okay? But you must find an answer or answers that will work for all the equations. So in terms of straight lines, then linear equations, for example, we might have, this is your y-axis, this is x. You might have one line that goes like that and the other one that goes like that. Where they meet, this point you read for x and this point is y. At this point, the value satisfy both equations, okay? Or, for example, you could have a quadratic equation. So where the line crosses is a place where the equation, the solution satisfy both equations. So that is the meaning of simultaneous equations. And why are they important? Well, let me give you one example. For example, here I have 2 mishkaki. So for mishkaki, puff, if you don't know what that is a kebab. So 1 mishkaki and 1 chips, let's say, cost 7,000 shillings, and 1 mishkaki and 1 chips cost 5,000 shillings. How would you solve something like this? This is one of the simplest example that you could have. In real life, there are more tricky situations where you would need to use simultaneous equations, okay? So we could write all those words in terms of equations. So I've got 2 mishkaki like that and 1 portion of chips. So I could say 2m plus 1 chips like that equals to 7,000. And I could write that 1 mishkaki plus 1 chip is equal to 5,000. And then I will try to solve these 2 simultaneously in order to find the price of 1 mishkaki and the price of 1 chips, okay? So how do we solve simultaneous equations then? Well, we can solve by elimination method, and that is what we're going to do today. We can solve by the substitution method. Probably this will be doing next week. We can solve graphically like what I was showing. If you have 2 lines, one like that and the other like that, where they cross is where we read the solution. You can also solve simultaneous equations using matrices. Now, in UK, we don't do this in GCSE, we do this in A-level, and in Tanzania, you would do this when you are in Form 4. You don't do matrices when you're in Form 2 or 3 or Form 1. Okay? So this is not something we're going to do at this point. So we're going to solve simultaneous equations by the method of elimination. What does elimination mean? It means just to eliminate something, to remove something, to get rid of something. That is what we are trying to do. You remove one thing to help you find the other, and then you're going to use the other to find the one that you removed. So we are going to eliminate, remove something first. Okay? So this is a method that we're going to focus on today. So here I have two linear equations. One that says 6x plus y equals 15, and the other that says 4x plus y equals 11. Now, I've said here when coefficients are the same. So I said earlier what coefficient means. Coefficients are the number that are next to the variables. So here the coefficient of x is 6. Here the coefficient of y is 1. Okay. Here the coefficient of x is 4. And here the coefficient of y is 1. So we don't write it normally. We don't write it there. If it is not there, this 1, it means, it doesn't mean it's a 0. It means it's 1. So when the coefficients are the same, we look at the x's. Do they have the same coefficients? The x's don't. This one has 6, this one has 4. What about the y's? Do they have the same coefficient? Yes, that one has a 1 and this one has a 1. So I can solve this one easily. And because they have the same coefficients, they are the ones that I'm going to eliminate. So remember, eliminate means I'm going to remove them, okay? So the other thing you need to note is that they have the same sign. What does that mean? They have the same coefficient and they are both positive, +1 and +1. So if they have the same sign and we want to remove them, what do we do? If I do +1 and +1, there is no way I'm going to remove it. So let's start by naming these equations. So let's say this is equation 1 and this one is equation 2. Now, if I want to remove it, it means I need to subtract. So I can do equation 1 take away equation 2. So I'm now solving simultaneously. So I do 6x take away 4x. That will give me 2x. 1y take away 1y. That is 0, it's gone. So I have removed it. I have eliminated it. Then I have my equal sign. 15 take away 11, that's just 4. And now to get the x, I need to divide by 2 both sides. So x is equal to 2. Okay? And now you have got what x is, you can go ahead and find the y. So we can say from 1, we're going to put x in there. We're going to substitute. It means we're going to put the value of x into the equation. So from equation 1, we got 6, and then our x is 2. So it means 6 times 2. And then plus y equals to 15. So we multiply this out. 6 times 2 is 12 plus y equals to 15. Then we remove 12 on both sides. Then we have y equals to 15 take away 12, 3. So we now know x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. So the last thing we want to do is check Okay, now I'm not going to check on every solution that I'm going to do today because that will take a long time, but I want you to do this whenever you practice solving simultaneous equations. So because we have used equation 1 to find y, we're going to use equation 2 in order to check if our answer is correct. Okay, so now you say from 2. So if we take the left hand side, it is 4x plus y. Okay, so we got 4x is 2 and then plus 3. Okay, what do we get? Is 8 plus 3, which is going to be equal to 11. So the left hand side gives us 11 and the right hand side is 11. So now you can say therefore left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So that means your answers for x and y is correct. Okay, if you do have questions, please write on a comment and I can repeat whatever I'm doing. So now I'm going to do the next example. What do we have here? We have two linear equations, 4x plus 3y equals 32, 5x minus 3y equals 13. Now, the first thing before anything, I'm going to check my coefficients. Now I'm going to check the x coefficients. X has 4 and this one has 5. They are not the same. So I will not try to remove these ones if I can remove the other one easily. Y's have 3 and 3. They have the same coefficient, so now I can eliminate y's, but one is positive and the other is negative. So what am I going to do? I want to get rid of them, which means I want to get a 0. Okay, so if I say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, if I subtract them like I did before, what will I have? I'll have 3y take away negative. That is going to give me, what will I have? I'll have something like this, 3y minus and then minus the 3y. What will I have here? I'll have 3y minus and minus, that becomes plus 3y, and this will end up giving me 6y. I don't want 6y, I want 0 y's. Okay, so what should I do then? Well, the only way to do this is add the two equations. So what I'm going to do, the coefficients are the same, one is positive, one is negative. So when the signs are not the same, you need to add. Okay, you need to add the two equations. So we're now going to say equation 1 plus 2. So 4x plus 5x, what do you get? You get 9x. And then plus 3y plus a negative 3y, that is what we want. So 3y plus minus 3y. So this will now give you 3y plus a minus, that will give you minus 3y, and this will give me a 0. And that is what I want to achieve. Okay, so they are gone, the y's are gone, so I have eliminated them. Now I'm going to do 32 take away 13. 12 take away 3 is 9. 2 take away 1 is obviously a 1. So now x is going to be equal to 19 over 9. So let's just check that. 4x plus 5x is 9x. Oh, I'm not minusing. I knew something was wrong. Guys, I'm looking at so many things here. So I'm going to just remove that. Okay, I need to add. At the same time, I'm looking at all the gadgets, guys. So I'm getting distracted a little bit. So we are going to add the two equations. So 4x plus 5x is 9x. These two will give you 0, and then 32 plus 13. 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. So we need to divide both sides by 9. Therefore, x is equal to 45 divided by 9 is 5. So now I've got my x. I can go ahead and find what y is. So I'm going to substitute x into, I'm going to use equation 1. Okay, so I have 4 times x, which is 5, plus 3y, and this is going to be equal to 32. So 4 times 5 is 20, and then plus 3y is equal to 32. I'm going to take away 20 on both sides, so therefore I'm going to have 3y is equal to 12. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1, so therefore y is equal to 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now I'm going to let you check this at your own time. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a few minutes to try these two questions, and then I will do different type of questions. So if I give you 3 minutes on each question, okay guys, go ahead. So guys, don't forget to like the session if you're enjoying it. Okay, if you have your answers, please send me on the chat, and I can tell you whether they are right or wrong. Okay. So I'm going to give you 2 more minutes before I try to solve these with you. That is correct, Mohammed. Well done. So I'm just going to give the answer for this one because I I don't feel like I need to do it because maybe it's too easy. So x equals to 7 on this one, and y is equal to 2 is the right answer from Mohammed. Now, have you completed number 2? All right, so I'm not getting the answer for number 2, which means I'm going to go over question 2. So I'm going to skip number 1 because you have got the answer for that one. I'm going to do number 2. Okay, so we're going to solve this one together. Now we'll first look at the coefficients. Are the x's the same? No, they are not the same. So I'm not going to eliminate the x's. Are the y's the same? They have the same coefficients, yes. There's a 1 there and there's a 1 there, but the signs are not the same. So am I going to add or subtract? If I subtract, I'm going to get 2 y's because it'll be 1 y, take away y. It will become 1 plus y. So I can't do that. It means I need to add the 2 equations. So we're going to add. So remember, if the coefficients have a different sign, then you need to add, okay? So we're going to call this equation 1 and we're going to call this equation 2. Right, so we're going to do 1 add 2. So 5x plus 3x is going to be 8x. And then plus y plus minus y, that will give me plus take away y, which is 0. And then I'm going to do 11 plus 9, which is 20. So x is going to be equal to 20 over 8. Okay, so 20, what's 20 over 8? You can simplify that as 10 over 4, or if we divide by 4, x is going to be equal to 5 over 2, okay, which is 2.5. Now we're going to sub in. So sub x, we can choose, let's choose 5. So sub x into, which one is easy? I will put it in 1. Sub x in 1. By the way, I haven't solved these questions. So if I do make a mistake, please let me know on the chat, okay? So sub x in equation 1. We're going to do 5 times 5 over 2. Okay, that is the x, plus y is equal to 11. Okay, so 5 times 5 is 25. So this is going to give us 25 over 2 plus y is equal to 11. Okay, so you know 25 over 2 is 12.5. Okay, so if we take away, so let's just write that is 12.5 plus y is equal to 11. So therefore y is going to be equal to 11. Take away 12.5, which means y is going to be equal to negative 1.5. Okay, so hopefully you've got this answer, guys. If not, please just write it down. I'm going to give you a minute just to copy that. All right, time is moving really fast because it is now almost, well, we are halfway now this session. All right, so off we go now into our next example. So we now got when the coefficients are not the same. Okay, so we have two equations here. We look at the x's. No, they don't have the same coefficients. And we look at the y's. There's one y there. They don't have the same coefficients. Okay, so what can we do? How can we get the same coefficient? Well, for this example, we don't need to change both equations, because if I do equation 2, if I call this equation 1 and this one is equation 2, if I do this equation 2 times 3, then I can have the same y coefficient. So I'm going to do times 3 on this one, which means I'm now going to have 3x, okay, plus 3y equals to 18. Now this I'm going to multiply by 3 throughout. So 5 times 3 is going to be 15x. And then plus 1y times 3, that's going to be plus 3y. And then equals to minus 2 times 3, that is going to be minus 6. So I can now call this maybe equation 3 and 4. Okay, just to make it easy. What can I do now? Well, I've got plus on both of them, same coefficients, and I need to get rid of them. So how do I do? I'm going to do equation 3 take away 4. So 3 take away 4. Okay, so 3x take away 15. What do I get? 3 take away 15. So that is going to give me negative 12x. 3y take away 3y. That is 0. And this is going to be equal to 18 take away negative 6. That is going to give me plus 6. So now I have 18 plus 6, which is 24. I need to divide by negative 12 both sides. So now I have x equals to negative 2. Now you have x, you're going to sub in, sub x. We can choose which one we want to use. I'm going to use equation 1. So sub x into 1, okay, our original one. So we have 3, and then our x is negative 2, and then plus 3y is equal to 18. This is negative 6 plus 3y is equal to 18. I'm going to add 6 on both sides. So I now have 3y equals to 18 plus 6 is 24. So I'm going to divide by 3 both sides, and that will give me y equals to 24 divided by 3 is 8. So y is equal to 8. Okay, so in this example, I've only changed one of the equations in order to make it the same. Right, so I'm going to try the similar example, but this time they have different signs. Okay, so I'm going to say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now I can see I can't change the x's easily, but I can change the y easily. If I do equation 2 times 2, then this would be minus 4y. So I'm going to write it here, 3x plus 4y equals to 7. That's my original. And I'm going to say 5 times 2, 5x times 2, this will give me 10x. And then minus 2 times 2 times 2, that will give me minus 4y equal to 16 times 2 is 32. Okay, so now I can say this is equation 3 and this is equation 4, even though equation 3 is the same as equation 1. Okay, they have opposite signs, so same coefficient but opposite sign. It means I'm going to add the two equations. So if I say equation 3 plus 4, what do I get? 3x plus 10x, this will give me 13x. So plus 4y plus minus 4y is now going to be 0. So this is equal to 7 plus 32 is 39. Divide by 13 both sides to get x. Therefore, x is going to be equal to 9 divided by 13 is 3. Now we're going to sub x into, let's put it into 1, okay, into equation 1, our original one. So we have 3, x is 3, so I'm using this equation, plus 4y is equal to 7. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 4y is equal to 7. We're going to take away 9 on both sides. So 9 take away 9 is 0. Now we have 4y equals to 7 take away 9 is negative 2. If you divide by 4 on both sides, you get y is equal to negative 2 over 4, which is negative half, or negative 0.5. So therefore, x is equal to 3 and y is equal to negative 0.5. Okay, guys? Right, I know I'm going through a little bit fast than maybe you want it to be. I'll do this example and maybe I'll let you do some work. All right, so now we have two equations, two linear equations. They don't have the same sign, do they? X's don't have the same sign. Y's don't have the same sign. Now what should I do? What should I do to make them the same sign? Well, I can find the common multiple of 2 and 5, or I could find a common multiple of 3 and 7. So it depends, you choose which one you want to change. Okay, so I'm going to change the x's. I'm going to make x's the same, which means I need to multiply the first equation by 5. I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to multiply equation 2 by 2. So I'm going to call this equation 1 and this one equation 2. I'm going to multiply this equation by this number, 5, and I'm going to multiply equation 2 by this number 2. So times 2. Now what do I have? 2 times 5 is 10x plus 3 times 5 is 15. So I have 15y equals to 30 times 5 is 150. And the next equation, 5 times 2 is 10x. 5x times 2 is 10x plus 7y times 2, that will give me 14y equals to 71 times 2. That is going to be 142. So I can call this equation 3 and this one equation 4. Now my x's are the same. It is back to normal, but they are both positive. So what should I do to get rid of them? If I add them, that will become 20x. I don't want 20x, I want 0x. So it means I need to subtract 10x, take away 10x is 0x. That is gone. 15y, take away 14y. So because they are both positive, so I'm just going to do 15y, take away 14y. That will just give me 1y. So y. 150, take away 142. So that's just simple, 8. So therefore y is equal to 8. Now I'm going to sub y this time into, I'm just going to choose equation 1. Okay. So from 1, this equation here, we got 2x plus 3. I know my y is 8. So I'm going to put 8 in there equals to 30. Okay, so this will give me 2x plus 3 times 8 is 24 equals to 30. So take away 24 both sides. This will give me 2x plus 24 minus 24 is 0 equals to 30, take away 24 is 6. Divide by 2 both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So x equals to 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now if you're doing this, make sure you check. I'm trying to speed up with this session, but make sure you do the session that says check to make sure your answer is correct. So therefore x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 8. Okay. Now I'm going to let you think for a bit, and then after this I'm going to give you some work to do. What do you think we should do? You can leave me a comment on the chat. What should we do with this question? Is anyone awake? Right, I'm just going to continue with this question. So we now have two equations here, but we can see they're not arranged in a way that we want to use it. So if we rearrange equation 1, okay, so I'm going to call this 1 and this one 2. We're going to rearrange 1 first of all. So equation 1, what do we have? 3y plus 11 equals 4x. What we want to do is have y and x on the same side and then have the number on the other side. So we're going to take away 11, okay? So this means we're going to have 3y equals to 4x minus 11. And then we're going to take away 4x, okay? Yes, well done, Mohammed. We need to rearrange. So we're going to take away 4x, okay? Take away 4x. I mean, there's no such a thing that say you must move the x or you must move the y. Whatever you do, if you do it correctly, you will get the same answer. Okay, so we're going to rearrange this. We will get 3y minus 4x equals to negative 11. And now from 2, what do we have? Equation 2, if we rearrange, we just need to remove the 1, okay? So from 2, if we rearrange, I put my y's first, okay? They're both positive, so I'm going to have 2y plus 10x equals to, this goes to the other side now, negative 1, okay? So if you're not sure on how to rearrange, you can leave me a comment, or if you have any topic that you would prefer me to do maybe sooner, let me know, okay? So here we have equation 3 and equation 4. What happened now? Are the y's the same? Not. Are the x's the same? No, they don't have the same coefficient. So we need to make them the same, okay? We need to make the same coefficient. So we can multiply equation 3 by 2, okay? We're trying to make y the same. And we can multiply equation 4 by 3, this number here. Okay, so if we did that, then we have 3 times 2, we have 6y, minus 4 times 2 is 8, minus 8x equals to negative 11 times 2, that's negative 22. And now for the second part, we have 2y times 3. So that is 6y. 10 times 3, that is going to give you plus 30x. And then equals to negative 1 times 3, that is negative 3. We can call this equation what we use 3 and 4. Now we can say this is 5 and x and 6. So don't worry about the numbers, okay? They are just numbers. Now the y's are the same. They have the same sign. So what do we need to do? We need to subtract, okay, to make them 0. Now it doesn't matter what you do. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do equation 5 take away 6. So 5 take away 6. So 6y take away y, 6y, that's 0. Negative 8x take away positive 30x. So that becomes negative 8 take away 30. That's going to be negative 38x. Okay, so we're going to take away, become negative 38x. And this one, negative 22, take away negative 3. What do we get? But by the way, this is an exam question, okay? So negative 22, take away negative 3. That becomes negative 22 plus 3, which is negative 19. So this is equal to negative 19. Now, if you if you divide by negative 38 on both sides, so divide by negative 38, you will have this become positive, x equals to negative and negative will cancel, and 19 over 38 is a half. So x is equal to 0.5. Now what we can do is use equation 1 to find y. Okay, so what do we have? So from 1 we have 3y plus 11 equals 4 times x, which is 0.5. So we have 3y plus 11, 4 times half, that gives you a 2. So if you rearrange this, take away 11, you have 3y equals to 2 take away 11. That will give you negative 9. This means y is going to be equal, divide both sides by 3. Okay, so that's going to be negative 9 divided by 3, which is a negative 3. So make sure you copy that, guys, and make sure, please, press like before you go. Okay, I'm now going to show you some work. This was a GCSE question, guys, on higher paper. All right, so I will let you take a picture of this or copy the questions. I'm going to give you a few minutes. You don't need to do all of them, but try as much as you can. Okay, and what I will do is give you the answers next week. Now, because this session was supposed to be on Friday and we missed out, and because I have something to do on Sundays, I'm going to let you take a picture of this, and then I'm going to say goodbye. Next week I will reveal the answers. Okay, so you can see there are some worded questions here. Okay, and I'll give you a hint for question 2. Again, this may be exam question. So it says here, the sum of two numbers is 2. The difference between them is 4. What is their product? All right, so let's say my first number is x. So this is for this. My second number is y. The sum means you're adding them. So this means if I do x plus y, I should get their sum. of the sum of these two numbers is 2. The difference between them, that means if you take away those two numbers, so x minus y, this is going to give you a 4. Okay, what is the product? So product means if you multiply them, x times y equals what? Okay, which means you need to find your x, you need to find your y. I'll let you do number 4 on your own. Give it a go. This is going to be done next week. We're going to solve worded questions, and we're also going to do we're going to solve simultaneous equation by the substitution method. Right, guys, I'm going to say good evening and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay, bye for now.